I do have something to say that I've had to keep kind of under wraps for a little while, or I've meant to keep under wraps for a little while, that I want to announce, and we'll probably talk about this more when we're able to go live more in the future. But basically, I am in talks with Chris, with the guys from Adventure Together Games, to basically create a series much like I did with Tales of Valhalla, and it's going to be called. I already have a title for it. It's a working title, but I already have a title for it. It's going to be called Tales of the Void, which the Void is where TimeStrike takes place, or the TimeStrike takes place. So nice. we're still in the pre-planning stages. We're still in talks, but I've already had a meeting with them, and I think it went very well. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what budget we can come up with. We'll see what we can possibly bring out for next year. But for me, it's a great opportunity. I mean, this is one of those things to where I've spent the last almost 10 years animating and hoping that someday I could have someone just be like, yeah, we want you to do that stuff with our stuff too. Because I've had people ask me before in the past, like, if you could do Warhammer or Warhammer 40K, would you animate it in that way? I'm like, if the company would bring me a check, absolutely, because
that's expensive. Those are expensive minis.
Not only is it expensive to do this type of stop motion animation, it's expensive to get that stuff. Exactly. Hand me a check, I am good. So it's great to see that type of offer, and that's not the only thing that happened. Too, outside of just Source and Adventure Together Games, which I cannot talk about right now, but. There is one other thing when it comes to Adventure Together Games as well. Not only we're going to be developing a series, and it's probably going to be eventually a main series like the seasonal story arcs that we do with Tales of Valhalla. But we're probably going to do also little mini videos. We might start with that. But I will also be working closely on developing the lore into TimeStrike. I'm going to become part of that lore team within Adventure Together Games, and I'm not going in it alone. I have my friend Jeremy, who will be joining me on that as well. Yes, I started Tales of Valhalla basically with Jeremy's help, and asking Jeremy to join up was a no-brainer. And I apologize for the emergency vehicles driving by my door. There's a lot of noise. But so me and Jeremy are still in talks. There's still going to have to be a lot of meetings, a lot of things to sort through. But I've already given some ideas to Adventure Together Games, and it seems like they're excited enough to implement some of it. So it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a ton of work. But I almost think of it this way: if J.R. Tolkien was still alive and was saying, just sent me an email and said, hey, I see your work, and I'm thinking of adding on to Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth. How would you like to come on board and be part of that? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm totally there. I'm totally game. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's going to have to be a lot of work before we can release anything officially, but that also comes into play as well, to where it's a soft launch, because I'm not going to really talk about it too much until beginning of the year. But I also have released just today the Tales of Valhalla Patreon. I've done everything on my budget for the past 10 years, but when it comes to managing this podcast, and as well as doing future things when it comes to not just TimeStrike but HeroScape as well, gonna need some help funding, at least start building up some type of budgets for things, and getting some assistance in that. Now that goes without saying that those of you who do subscribe, who like and comment, those are always needed, and I love it. And if that's all you can do, that is awesome. That's amazing. I never want to lose that. But for those of you who can, we do have a Patreon. You can even join for free on Patreon if you just want to see some of the free stuff. But there will be behind the scenes stuff that's additional to not what we're currently doing, but that's an additional perk to joining Patreon. So check out the Patreon. Like I said, description and link below for that. Finally got around to doing that because I've been thinking about it for a few years. Now finally did it. But so that's just some of the exciting things that have been happening in the past few months. I am just absolutely thrilled about this, and it's something that we'll probably talk, and I'll write more probably in the Patreon about it in the future, because just there just been some insights in the past few years that have happened to me personally that just, and all this just come to a head. It's quite incredible. So
yeah, that's amazing. I think you and Adventure together is a good union of concepts and passion. So I'm looking forward to seeing content from that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Like I said, I just realized like there's so much work, and I was thinking I needed a break, and nope.
Just when I got out, they dragged me back.
And
yep.
I think also some people might think, okay, well, doesn't this make you then a Source fanboy? You know, what about HeroScape? You know, are you just totally going to reject HeroScape? Absolutely not. Like I said, this is still like a HeroScape themed podcast. Now, when it comes to creating like animated content for Tales of Valhalla, we're still keeping the ToV acronym for Tales of the Void. So technically,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't mind releasing like the animated content and have that just be its own playlist on there, or even doing something if we want to do other things when it comes to Source and TimeStrike as they start developing themselves in the years to come, eventually other games, then we might do that. But I'm not drifting away from HeroScape. I mean, I was still planning to take a few years break, so now my break is going to consist of developing my skills as an animator, as a producer, to make Tales of Valhalla seasons 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however further we go, that much better, that much more well written, and that much more just, you know, great for you guys. So yeah, that I am just like, and part of me just like, I can't wait to get to work. I really can't. It's like I keep on bug. This is one thing. When people tell me, you know, contact me anytime, or we're gonna start doing this, I can be on someone's tail 24/7. I can be so annoying, and I try to make it to where it's like, okay, I make myself this much annoying because if they're still working with me, then I know they're on my side. You know? So yeah, that's kind of how I do things, and most of the time I do that with people. They keep to the word, and they're pretty good about it. So, but yeah, can't wait to show some of the things that we're planning, and I can't wait to tell you, Jeremy, when we're, you know, having meetings with them, what we have in mind when it comes to the lore and stuff. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, but anything
great.
else? Anything else?
2024 is going to be crazy.
Oh my goodness, 2024 and beyond.
Huge.
And beyond.